morning, Justice. How you doing?
Morning. How are you?
Oh, I'm pretty good. Feeling pretty good this
Good.
morning.
Glad to hear it.
Yeah. It's
You look cute.
well, I have to. I have to today. It's
Why?
well, it's my 10th anniversary today
Oh man,
with
yeah.
my
You do
partner
have
in
to look
life,
cute.
my wife, my ride or die. That the better part, the cuter one. Yeah, with Taryn.
Well, congratulations. I'm chuffed as chips to hear that, frankly.
That's a lot of CHs together. That's a great alliteration.
Thank you. I think that alliteration might be my favorite thing. I would be a terrible author, truly. Um,
I'm a horrible
what do you got
speller.
planned? Anything big?
Uh, well, there were probably some plans. I think those got derailed by COVID months ago. So it's kind of one of those things that creeps up on you. I mean, in a weird way, kind of creeps up. Taryn and I kind of knew it was coming. We keep saying, like, hey, what do you want to do? What do you want to do? And we thought about doing things like going camping, going out for dinner, those sorts of things. But camping means using public washrooms at this point in time, and I'm not um, the
Would
best of times, I think public washrooms. I mean, if you ever went out to the Loop, or were a Windsorite that visited the Loop, you know what like the worst state of washrooms are. That's the Loop in Coach and Horses and Justice. That was
Did you ever
prior.
see
That was
the washrooms at the beer exchange? I feel like I can say this because it's closed now, but the washrooms at the beer exchange, dude, I've never been to hell before, except for then. That was it.
yeah,
That was the entry to hell.
yeah,
It was very gross.
yeah. So we
Why
decided
was
against that. We have also decided against going to clubs.
that's
uh,
very
decided
fair.
against restaurants. So there's a few things I got to pick up today that I'm hoping we're gonna head out to. Taryn's family has like a vacation house, I guess, or a second house in Colchester, so we get to go out and spend some time out there. Socially distanced, not probably seeing anybody, and I hope that I can barbecue up some nice steaks and some lobster tail this evening. So that's kind of what I'm thinking of. And then Friday we were there are some wineries out that way that well they still do their they still are open, and now being in phase three are open more, but they also offer some picnics. So you can order up like a bottle of wine and your picnic basket, and they have, all these, it's a vineyard. So there's room to go and sit and like lay out your blanket, and we can have a little picnic. So I think that's kind of what we're going to do on Saturday.
Sounds very cute.
Yeah.
I'm very, very stoked for you. I hope you have a wonderful weekend that way.
Yeah, me too, me too. And this morning is the first morning in about a year or so. I woke up with less bed beard than ever. So look at that. Like you can see my neck, and it's all white from having a beard there, tanned on the back, white in the front. It kind of looks funny, but this is no bed beard. This is how I woke up today, and minus this, my coiffed hair. But I was kind of happy to get in. This is phase three, so the first time that I could get a beard trim since
Oh yes.
yeah, yeah. So like by by a trained hand and not just myself in a mirror, hoping that I really don't kind of like lopside the whole thing or do like the like just and like cut right into it and ruin my facial hair. So, hey, were we gonna go to any videos at all or anything like that this morning?
Oh, I decided that I didn't want to do that. One, because as I kind of mentioned before we went live, I'm a little hungover this morning, and I figured we could just chat. Because like I don't know, I just wasn't in the mood, and I feel like that's valid. Unless you want to go to something.
No, I wouldn't want to ruin your mood. So we're drinking Malibu rum straight from the bottle and listening to some
No,
Arkells.
no, no.
Sorry,
However,
that's a reference to one of your posts, but
no, you're right. It's very clever. You're very funny. But no, this time I
I
was
don't have
not.
the drum.
Meet the Arkells right now. But no, I went out with Zelko, and we
Mm.
had a little bit of wine and sat and watched the meteors a little bit.
Oh,
And
cool! You saw him.
yeah, yeah, it was really nice. I needed
What
to
is
get
the name of
away.
the meteor shower?
Persid, Come on, don't do this to me.
No, you're right. Perseid?
Yeah, Perseid.
Yeah, Perseid. There we go. Uh,
Um,
Taryn will probably be laughing her ass off right now, just because we had to. I was driving her to work, and I'm like, "How do you say that? Like, go online, get the correct pronunciation." So that's the cool thing about being married. Here, I'm gonna kind of toss this up. It's a little bit fun for people who have never or weren't around. But this is our wedding invitation. Taryn and I were married on a Friday the 13th in August. And it is also the same time as the Perseid meteor shower. So every year during our anniversary, there's kind of this great thing to get out and see. I posted a couple photos on my Facebook page of going out and seeing the meteor shower at Point Pelee. So we were out at West Beach, not last night, but the night before. And, we saw a couple. We saw a really bright one. It was pretty crazy. Where did you go?
oh, right. Where did I go? I was in Essex, so it's not pronounced Woodsley. It's
Yeah. That's right.
Woodsley?
No,
Woodsley?
no, Woodsley's correct.
Is it?
Yeah.
Because that's not how Google pronounced it. The letters are swapped.
Oh, fuck Google.
And
Come on. Google mispronounces everything.
okay, and you're right. I shouldn't trust the internet because Google also brought me to straight up the wrong house last night, so it took me a minute to even find where Zelko was at. But basically, like right across the street from where Zelko lives is like you can pull up to one of those like crazy windmills that are ever so populous out in the county.
Yeah.
And so we sat basically right underneath one of those wind turbines and just looked up. So it was I'm gonna say it was like great, not perfect, in that like if you looked straight up, like the dome was fucking phenomenal. You got to see a ton of stars, but then sort of as you got closer to the horizon, there's all the light pollution sort of from Detroit and Windsor, and then going the other way from like London and stuff. There's even snow a little bit.
Yeah, it's quite hard to really to kind of
to get it like
right?
perfect.
Yeah.
No, like welcome to like light pollution and industrialization. The world sucks, whatever. But what we did get to see was phenomenal, and like there were some, yeah, you were right, like some really crazy bright ones. But I actually found like a real affinity for like the little backgroundy kind of ones, like the ones that were really small, barely perceptible. Like it could be a meteor, could be just my eye moving too fast, and like the streak of a star. It was.
I think after you sit out there for a while, your eyes get kind of like a little bit tripped out by kind of trying to see something that may or may not be exactly going on, right? So.
I didn't wear my new glasses. I got a prescription update, so these glasses that I'm wearing now have a better prescription than my old ones. But I don't wear these all the time because they're bougie and I don't want to scratch them up. But I like got super distracted before I left yesterday and didn't wear my nice glasses. So I'm sitting there looking up. It's kind of smudged and blurry, and I was like, "Damn it! Can't even see it clearly. Gotta wonder. Can't tell if I've can't tell if the stars are like just visual tricks or actual meteors." But I know I definitely saw a couple meteors.
Yeah.
Talked to Zelko a little bit about like, I don't know, life, feelings. What kind of conversations do you have out under the stars? A little stoned, a little tipsy.
Well, I don't know.
Nice.
There's a lot of
actually a wonderful.
Yeah, that sounds pretty good. Zelko's trying to like move in on a date with my wife, and I'm not sure how I feel about that, but I'm glad to know that he wasn't all like octopus hands then. So.
What does that mean?
Oh, it doesn't matter. We'll rewatch this later and we'll talk about that. So did he talk about all of his the recording and stuff? How's the music going?
Yeah, we went through. We listened to Humble John.
Oh, did you get to listen to it all?
Yeah. Zelko and I've actually sat there and listened to the album a couple times. The first time I listened to it with him would have been when we were actually. I helped do some claps on one of the songs. I don't know if they used that, but I hope they did. And so I listened to it a little bit. Then I produced the live stream that Zelko did, where he went through the whole album live. So
that's
I got
right.
to listen
That's
to it
right.
then, which
we
was
did
very,
that. I
very
kind of
special.
forgot that. Yeah.
we're so busy with pandemic times, how, so many things going on. And then yeah, we listened to it last night. And one of the things we talked about was like, I love listening through the work in progress stages. I think it's honestly such a privilege to be able to listen to sort of pieces of music as they kind of like transition through their stages. And like what I had said to Zelko was like, music decorates time like paintings decorate space, right? So each time you listen to a song, it's like an ephemeral moment. It only exists in that moment, and that's one of the cool things about music. And so what's cooler, I think, about listening through the work in progress part is that like now not only is this ephemeral thing, it just becomes more, right? Because like each listen through is even more unique and more different. Like what I had said to Zelko was, every time I've listened to it, it's been its own work of art, right? Because I have no idea what's in his head. I don't know what done means to him, or what done means to the song. So it's been really, really cool to kind of listen to them evolve and to experience the sort of growth of the album. And I'm very excited for like other people to listen to it.
Yeah.
Because it's deeply touching, intimate. It's very nice.
I well, I think when we talked with him here, and we kind of caught him even off guard that one morning, I talked with him about wanting to do something. I really like the way that the music. I like the way it feels. I like that style. So.
He wants to work with you so bad. That was part of what we talked about yesterday.
Oh, that's awesome. I'm watching my cats, who are like completely nuts today.
Are they back there? Grab them.
No. They're kind of in cat prison. One of them fell in. We have a fish tank that doesn't have any fish in it, just so that everybody knows it is more just a tank, and it's a tank with water, and that's what our cats kind of drink out of. And the one just kind of was drinking paws in and fell ass in, and there they are running around like crazy now, wet tail. So they're kind of cat grounded right now. There's a couple comments, and I just want to let everybody know that.
That's what I was like over here trying to do.
Yeah,
and then
it says this is Taryn, my wife. She says she's watching, LOL. And so if anybody knows, or like if anything ever happens to me in the future, it's my wife. She's always watching me. It's the wife that did it. Anyways, so on to our 10th anniversary, right? So last night we went out to see the Perseus meteor shower, but we went out to the boonies to watch it was supposed to be a double feature as well. We took the kids, we threw a single mattress in the back of the van so we could all lay down and kind of hang out and watch. It was Wizard of Oz, which was the later one, and the first Harry Potter was the first movie. It started at like 9:00, 9:30. So Harry Potter was the first one. So the first movie was done at like 12 o'clock or so. So our kids, needless to say, didn't make it through the second one, but it was pretty cool to be watching a movie out of the boonies at a drive-in and watching some of the meteor shower right over top of the movie. That's pretty rad.
You just did.
So so needless to say, my kids are still sleeping. It's been an extremely late couple nights for them.
I wish that was me. I have much envy for the life of a child right now.
Oh, do you?
I do. I was making some jokes about like, I'm glad, like part of me is glad that I'm an adult and don't have to go to school, because like pandemic times are scary as shit. But the other part of me, one, would really have liked to have seen the fight that would have gone down between teenage Justice and my grandmother trying to get me to go to school.
Yeah.
And also like, there's a lot of freedom, I think, that kind of came along with being a kid going through pandemic, and that like you don't understand the consequences of the gravity of the situation. You're just fucking goofing off, doing whatever, trying to get through it. There's a lot of wonder still, and it's admirable, I guess.
Yeah. Well, so this is going to be a whole weird school year. We talked about it yesterday, so here's Doug Ford's office phone number. We're just going to throw that up as well. But the Windsor-Essex County School Board had sent out a survey and an email, and actually made a phone call out to everybody that I'm sure is on their phone list. So for parents that want to make sure that they do voice their opinion and or, voice the opinion that you're going back. I mean, at this point in time, I really don't care what your position is or your parental position on this is. We have to give them the information back about what you'd like to see. If you're happy with their plan, that's great. If you're not happy with their plan, that's also fine. But they need the information now, because by Wednesday of next week, like, you're supposed to already have made this decision, which is a pretty hard decision to make considering they haven't really,
He's in town today.
Yeah, I know. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, that's a whole thing, is kind of chasing down where I'm going to be able to see some of this stuff live and some of this talk that they're putting out about the school year. But I really feel like there's no correct answer in this situation. Like, there really kind of isn't. Nobody's right or wrong. It is your way that you gotta parent. But I just want to see that we have a little bit more, that there's more plans for breakout, that there's more plans for containment when it happens, that there's actually a plan for how people are communicated back to. And these are some of the things that I think that they're lacking. And that's kind of where the school situation, I guess, is.
I think you're right in that, like, individuals who are dealing with the situation, there's no right or wrong answer. Like, if a parent chooses to send their child to school or not, can't be condemned for the choice they make. I fully agree with you there. But what I do think is that, like, there are right answers. Our leadership could have made better choices. There were better options than what is being given to us, and I think that's just important to keep in mind, and to stay angry a little bit, stay motivated.
And honestly, I was not, again, it's not like I claim to be any political mastermind or anything, but they have to put forward an idea or a plan. They didn't do it in a timely way, but they also want to probably put forward a plan that isn't going to cost them any money, and they want to push it to the farthest extent to see where the public is going to be comfortable. And if we push back, I'm sure that their next card that they'll play is going to be something that's a little bit more reasonable or takes those considerations in. However, they could have done this a lot earlier, kinda. I mean, we don't know where we were standing with the pandemic until we get to that point. But we're also seeing, provinces like British Columbia that are now kind of holding off on rolling out the school year. Honestly, I hate to play this game, but what's 3 more months when you start thinking about the long-term?
It's not a game, Syx. Like, the compromise is human lives. Like, the compromise is human lives. And I think that there's, like, a little bit of, like, we push it out of our heads. Oh, it couldn't be me, won't be us, not going to be my kids, not going to be my family, not going to be. But the reality is it, for some of us, it is going to be our kids or us or our grandparents or whatever. And I think that's, always worth keeping in mind, is that, like, the compromise game that we're playing right now, it isn't an economic compromise. It isn't a financial compromise we're making. It is a human life compromise. And I think that, like, it's been the way that I feel our leadership has handled this has been neglectful of that reality, and it has been trying to keep that idea out of people's heads. But it's important to remember, like, the death toll is real, and it's a huge bummer. And pandemic has been not good at all.
No.
to say the least.
No, I mean, on all sides, there's a lot of points, and there's a lot of arguments, and there's a lot of things that we need to consider. So, I mean, that is really it too. There's no, I don't have things buttoned up into a great answer either. I think that we just have to keep moving forward, listen to what's going on, take our own health or our family's health, how you'd like to take it, but take it seriously. It's our duty to make sure that we are kind of safe, and that our kids are safe. That our kids are safe moving forward. I want to see my kids graduate high school, not just fucking grade school. And if we aren't careful, then some of that is that's the real danger. And I don't think that long-term plan is actually a consideration in some people's heads. So let's get off the heavy topic, because I've been literally doing nothing but thinking about this and chatting with this about my wife and about with our friends.
It's also a huge black hole that could suck us in
forever.
Is,
yeah. So
What? No, I was gonna ask you any new music. Heard anything good lately?
uh, yes, yes. 1 second here. I actually had pulled up something that I was really happy with yesterday, and I pulled it up
Yeah.
to find out that Mastodon is releasing um, an album September 11th. So I'm pretty excited about that because we missed the concert, or the concert has been postponed, I think, until next year. I don't think they actually canceled it. So Mastodon, Deftones, and Poppy. That's
Had
so, so
an
that's
Arkells show that was postponed for next year, and they have a date now. It's like June 21st or something, 2021. Um, I might just eat the cost of that. I don't really know if I want to go hang out even in a year.
yeah.
I don't really know if I want to go hang out in a stadium with 21,000 other people.
No, I agree. And I'm looking through my I'm looking through my recently played playlists, and I have Mastodon. I have It's Raining Tacos by Perry Grip, which is we kind of joked about that at one point in time.
I am like a Perry Grip stan. I have been listening to Perry Grip since I was like 14 years old. What I dig about Perry Grip, I know it's kids music, but there is something about it that is just not quite right. There's jokes in there for parents too. I know there is. Perry Grip's hilarious.
Do you understand? Do you know the history of Perry Grip and the rollback of that?
No, I only know his like YouTube music. I basically have like heard almost every single one of his songs because I'm kind of a sucker.
All right. Well, okay. So Perry Grip used to be in a band in the late 90s ish. I'm going to try and see if I can come up with this. 1994.
I was not alive.
Correct, you were not alive. So Perry Grip has some history, and the band was called Nerd Herder. Or sorry,
Like
Nerf
hurting
Herder.
nerds?
Nerf Herder.
Like hurting them like cattle or hurting them?
Nerf Herder, like herding them like cattle, which is a
Okay.
Star Wars reference. And literally, as I kind of scroll down their song list, we open for Weezer, Mr. Spock, Pantera Fans in Love, The Girl Who Listened to Rush, Doctor Who, I'm the Droid You Were Looking For, New Wave Girl. I mean, literally, even back then in the early 90s, it was like kind of some poppy punk, a little bit later in the scene for me. But that's where Perry Grip had kind of made its start. And then the funniest thing is that I started to chase down some of this because for me, I remember Nerf Herder being brought up in a conversation with a guy named Glenn Murray. And Glenn Murray was a guy that I worked with at a courier company in Vancouver, British Columbia. And it was called Phantom Courier. Glenn came in and started working, and we had some talks about music and where we were from, and that I had done music and sound and yada, yada, yada. You get down the black hole of talking about the history of yourselves. And he was a punk musician, and he played in a band called 10 Foot Pole. And 10 Foot Pole's bass player was actually in the original Nerf Herder, or sorry, might have been the guitarist. You have to go back. But there's crossover between 10 Foot Pole and Nerf Herder and my friend Glenn Murray. So now that my kids are listening to Perry Grip, I literally messaged Glenn, and I was like, hey, so did you ever think in the late 90s that, one of your friends in the music scene was going to be my kid's favorite kind of, fun, dancey band? So that's the history of Perry Grip.
Perry Grip's so good.
Mm-hmm.
I could sing his praises endlessly. I'm good to know, happy to know that even in my kids' music, I have good taste. Max Reed asks, what do you guys think of the photos of the concert in the UK? I like what they're doing. I actually haven't seen, I just tried to Google it to see what he's talking about, and I actually have no idea.
Okay, so first of all, hi, Max. Secondly, thanks, because I really didn't check it to see where that concert was. But I was even earlier, a couple weeks ago, there was I think maybe a German research company. So I'm not sure if this concert is part of that or if the German research company was setting out 3 different events to kind of measure the transmission of COVID at a concert. So it would be, you know, social distance, not social distance, and then social distance at an X point. But you know, I saw that. It's kind of odd.
Describe to me what is happening. I've never seen the photo. I would like some context so I can give it my very educated opinion.
Okay, so it's like the main, you know, you're looking at the main stage as if you're on the ground at, it could be a stadium, it could be a large arena. It was a wide angle photo, and literally there are kind of like, they look like VIP boxes set up in rows. So everybody has their own little square box with up to, I don't know, maybe 6 people. And then there's enough room between them, and then there's another box, and then there's another box. So it's I don't know. Taryn is like, man, it's kind of great. Nobody rubbing up on you. You don't have anybody sweat on you. Nobody's going to spill beer on you. However, I don't know, from that wide angle photo, you know, seeing the stage kind of from that distance would maybe suck a little bit. But
I'm looking at pictures of like socially distanced concerts, and I don't care for that.
I don't know. I really don't know. At this point, if you really want to see somebody live, and I get to go to a place that's socially distanced, I mean, I guess that's an option. I'm still, you know, I don't know. I'm still kind of out on that. But I'm really happy to spend my couple dollars here and watch something online. Speaking of, while we were out at Boonies, they were advertising for, I'm not sure the date. I think it's the end of this month. But Metallica is live streaming a concert. So they are at Boonies also live streaming the concerts, and you buy the ticket from Ticketmaster, and it's like however many you can fit into your car. So it's a carload for like $120, and then you get to go and sit at a drive-in and watch the concert with all the other people. Which, you know, if I got to be socially distanced, I might as well be socially distanced in my own car with my own sound system, right? So there you go. That's an option too.
A lot of money.
That's a lot. Dude, we used to spend that much money easily to go to a show. 4 people in a car at $120. That's easy.
For something that's like, it's like, I don't know how I feel about that. I've paid more money for like concert experiences, but like there's a thing about being in the same room as the musicians that make the cost more easily digestible. I do not think that I would be confident paying $120 for a live streamed event.
Well, you wouldn't be.
I also don't like Metallica, so maybe I'd feel differently if there were other options.
Maybe that's it. Yeah, so that's kind of our music tangent on that music front. And other than that, I was, you know, listening to a podcast this morning on neuroscience. And I'm trying to find this guy's name, which always kind of sucks on this. There we go. Of course.
Brown says buy the DVD for $18.99, and yeah, you got a good point, Steve Brown.
Yeah, buy the DVD.
And then I said, then I don't have to, like, if I want to go to the drive-in, I'll go to the drive-in.
And just turn your music up.
If I want to go to a concert, I'll go to a concert.
Hey, you know, my van's got a DVD player in it. It's kind of like one of those old school family vans, so you can just throw a DVD right in. And there's a little screen on it. It's pretty much like going to the drive-in. If I bought the DVD, I could just slide it right in, turn my music up wherever I wanted to go, and I've got a rolling concert.
$100 cheaper. What? And here's the thing. Here's the thing about live stream concerts. How do you know? How do you know? They put a little bug in the bottom that says live. You don't know. You don't know. It's take 3. They filmed it 6 months ago.
Fake concert. Fake concert. How do you know it's just not all holograms now?
They can do that too. So
I know. And
nothing's real. Don't believe anything you see on TV.
Yes. That's it. You've wasted 29 minutes of our viewers' life, and we have successfully talked about, my anniversary and some music and some heavy shit with the schools going back, and that's about it.
Yes, yeah. I don't really have anything else of value to say.
And
That's
my
not true.
beard
I do want to
trim.
make.
Beard trim out
I
to,
want one more.
shout out to, like, Ferocious again.
Arkells dropped. They have branded face masks now, and I don't care for that. I don't much care for it. I don't much care for it.
Well, whatever. Wear a mask.
Yeah.
Just don't be a dick.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. That is about it. Do we have a guest lined up for tomorrow?
No.
All right. Well, we may scramble today. We may not. But heads up, Justice, you're going to have to handle the production end of it because I'm going out to the cottage. So I will be, maybe having this chat with you live from a hot tub.
It's terrible. I don't actually want to be included in that.
Well, then maybe I'll just live stream myself.
That's good. We'll see you tomorrow. We'll see.
Bye.